Hello traders, how's it going? Welcome to another edition of Weekly Crypto Update where we discuss what happened in the past week and try to forecast what is likely going to happen in the next week. Today is 18th of June here at Forex Academy and my name is Nikola Lazic. Okay, let's dive into the crypto market. As you can see, crypto market is mostly in red with a small average percentage change in the last 24 hours. However, now we are seeing that crypto market is starting to move on the downside, and let's check the global charts. In the last week, cryptocurrency market cap dropped significantly and holded that level at around $300 billion. But from last Monday, we have experienced some lows and then hovering at the midpoint of the lows and highs. So let me just zoom out a bit. Okay, so as you can see, this was Monday, 11th of June. And if you remember, on last Sunday, we have experienced this significant drop. And since then, cryptocurrency market capitalization went to the highest point here at around $300 billion, and then steeply fell down to around $265.397 billion, which was the week's low. Now, after that, that was on 13th of June. After that, cryptocurrency market has rose a little bit to $289.9 billion, from which, as you can see, the cryptocurrency market cap slowly declined in evaluation. Okay, so now let's check our charts and see what is likely going to happen on the charts. Let's check Bitcoin first. So this is my Bitcoin daily chart. As you can see, the price broke out of this triangle and it's now sitting here, which is around $6,040 and $400. I have drawn this triangle in which the price is currently consolidating from last Monday. So I'm just zoom in to an hourly chart, and as you can see, this was Monday here. This was the Monday's opening, and from last Monday till today, the price of Bitcoin has decreased by almost 5% from $6,771 to $6,431. Now, as you can see, the price was bouncing and this symmetrical triangle, and judging by the bear market sentiment that we are currently in, I'm expecting another low. That low would be somewhere to approximately $6,000, which was this point here. That was the lowest point we have seen in this prolonged correction. So what I'm expecting next is the price to fall down to those levels and retest them before we see some short-term trend reversal. Okay, so I want to show you my Elliott wave projection to provide a short-term forecast. Okay, so these are my last week's labelings, and I'm going to just shortly explain. So this was an ABC correction. You can see this three-wave move that went to $6,000, and then we are seeing some like a WX, YXZ correction, or potentially a WXY here, WXY, and then another WXY. but we will see how it ends. In any case, I'm expecting this wave X to end on the $6,000. That's why I think we are going to retest the prior lows this week, and then afterwards we are likely going to go to slightly above these highs. We will see, but there's significant resistance on the way up. You can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resistance lines. So in order to go back to these levels, potential buyers could get triggered by a better price. By better price, I mean a lower price. So maybe, and this is just a maybe, we will see a flash crash of some sort or another dip to 5,000 and maybe $700, which will correlate with these levels here, somewhere in this vicinity. But I would expect the price to steeply drop and then get pushed to close the candle above this 6,000 support line. So after that happens, I would expect the buying to be triggered and then a short-term trend reversal to around $8,300, maybe more. We will see what happens. But what I want to point out is that would mean that this WXY XZ or two WXY corrections would end on the upside, which means that the price of Bitcoin and the entire market would likely go further down. And I have projected that the price will, if that happens, will get stopped at around 4,500 levels, as this area looks like a strong support area that can hold this massive momentum that I would expect. Okay, now let's go to check another chart. Let's look at the price of EOS. The price of EOS is looking like it's about to drop. This chart pattern is very similar to what we had here. It looked like the trend reversal may happen, but the price continue to go down to the Gann-Fan line above. So now what I am expecting is a big red candle to around this area here at around $8.7 per EOS. Let me just zoom into an hourly chart because I see that we are, yeah, okay, so you can see that this triangle is forming, which correlates with triangles that we have seen on other currency pairs. But again, judging by the market sentiment and the current price action movement and the correlation between the cryptocurrencies, this is likely going to get broken out to the downside, and we are going to see some movement to find the next support. And I think the next support line is going to be $8.7 per EOS. Let's check at Monero. This is an hourly chart. So as you can see, again, a triangle in which the price is consolidating, and this triangle support was already broken, so I'm expecting another downfall. Now from last Monday, which was here, the 11th of June, this was the opening, till today the price of Monero has decreased by 13.5%. Now let's zoom out to a daily chart, as I want to point out something significant, and that is this support line here, which I'm going to bold, because as you can see, I have reported that after this triangle, which I have labeled with black bold lines, was broken out, I have reported that this wedge pattern is now in play, and I'm going to label this as blue so that you see clearly that what wedge do I mean. And after I have seen this breakout here from the downside of the wedge, I have labeled this support area as the strongest that can withhold the momentum behind the drop. And as you can see, that happened because you know, this is a support area that was in the past very strong, and now we are seeing currently that the price went below it, which did happen in the past, but the candle closed above it. So we are going to see if today's candle closes above it or continues to break out from this triangle, which kind of already started, but we are going to wait for a confirmation before maybe potentially go into a sell trade, or wait for a confirmation. Let's just zoom in a bit. Yeah, it's looking like the breakout has started, but we will see how this candle closes. I don't believe actually that the breakout will continue. I believe that a retest of this support is more likely before we continue to see Monero to break out from this triangle, something like this. The next support area that I would look after this breakout occurs is somewhere around this vicinity here, which would be around $100 per Monero, something like this. I'm going to lower my arrow, but again, we will see how this plays out. Now let's check the price of Dash. Okay, so as you can see, again, another triangle, as markets are strongly correlated. So this was Monday here, and from the Monday's opening till now, the price of Dash has dropped by around 10%, coming from $282 to $252. Now I have labeled this support line I think in my last weekly update, which was this support line here, which I consider this whole range support. Now I'm going to bold this line because it is significant. And now what I'm expecting next is either a straightforward breakout, or what I think is more likely is the price to bounce a bit into this triangle and then break out to the downside, and the first target would be somewhere around $206, but maybe the price will do something like this and continue to fall down further to around $152, which would be the next support area that can hold the momentum in. Judging by this chart pattern, I think this scenario is more likely. Let's check the price of Ethereum. Okay, so this is Ethereum daily chart. As you can see, the price has interacted with this descending channel resistance, and clearly it was repelled by it. So let's zoom into an hourly chart to see what happened. As you can see, another triangle, and the price action is looking like the breakout is soon going to happen. This resistance line was very strong in the past, and it was well respected. And this one time the price went above it. It very quickly and very steeply fell again. I will see. Let's measure how much of a drop is that. Yeah, that's 17% drop in one day, which indicates that sellers are still very strong. So what I would expect next to happen for Ethereum is something like this, an interaction with this trend line, maybe a retracement again to the resistance, and then another drop to about here. And let me show you why. This line here is what I have considered as this range support. So it will hold this, but we will see how strong. So what I would expect is for the price of Ethereum to go to around $457 at first, but we will see what happens then. I am expecting another drop to around these levels, or maybe even these levels at around $370, because that was the prior low. And I think that this correction that is happening now is going to retest the lowest lows that we have seen so far. And as you have seen my Elliott wave projection on Bitcoin, you remember that I am expecting another retest of those lows. And because Ethereum is kind of lagging behind Bitcoin, I am expecting the same chart pattern as on the Bitcoin chart. So maybe we will see something like this. This was clearly an ABC, and now we are either going to see something like this, or maybe something like this, a more prolonged correction. In either way, what I have said about Bitcoin is applied here as well. I'm expecting this correction to end on the upside, and then for the prices to continue to lower lows than we have seen in so far in this correction. But again, we will see how things play out. Let's check the price of NEO. Okay, so this was my projection in the charting section that I have done. And again, I'm expecting this to play out in accordance with my projection, as this support area was broken out of and we saw this movement to the downside. But the next support line that I'm expecting to hold is around $33 per NEO, because as you can see, this support area was broken out of, and this is the first line that is significant enough to hold this momentum down. So let's just zoom into an hourly chart to see what happened. Oh, perfect. My B wave was spot on. My C wave was not. It was actually to here. And after this ABC, we are seeing another correction. This is a triangle of some sort, not that clear. But in either way, I am expecting the price to hit this support area here. From last Monday, which was here. This was the Monday's opening. Till today, the price of NEO has dropped by $17.19. That's a lot actually, but in this bear market, things can move very quickly and nothing can surprise me anymore, because we saw $1,000 drop in one day for Bitcoin. So 17% decrease in 1 week is nothing that can surprise me, because people tend to panic sell when the market is falling, and that is propelling the price to go further down, as people are scared to lose money, of course, and big selling only gets bigger, because speculators cannot make money when the price is falling, as they tend to invest in the cryptocurrencies. But if you use our JFX broker, you can do a leverage trading and make money while others are panicking and selling. You can make money in the bear market as well, as you can short sell the market through their services. Okay, so this is all for today's weekly episode, and we'll see what happens in the following week, if my projections are going to be true. Happy trading, and see you in the next episode. Bye.